For each positive integer n, p of n is defined to be the product of the digits of n. For example, that's nice of them to give an example. For example, p of 724 is equal to 56, since 7 times 2 times 4 is equal to 56. Which of the following statements must be true? Okay, so I think I understand what's going on here. Statement 1 says p of 10n must be equal to p of n. Well, I don't think that's true because 10n is always going to have a 0 in it, so the product will be 0. So for example, let's say n is equal to 32. P of n will be equal to 3 times 2, which is 6, but p of 10n will be p of 320. Multiplying any integer by 10 is going to add a 0 at the end. So when you do that, it's going to be 3 times 2 times 0, which is 0. So in this case, in most cases, in fact, unless n also contains a 0, they will not be equal to each other. And so statement 1 does not have to be true. So anything with a 1 in it is out. And this looks nice. B, C, and E are all eliminated. Statement 2, P of n plus 1 is greater than P of 1. Well, so when won't this be true? So when you add 1 to a number, if all of a sudden the n plus 1 has a 0 in it, then I think this will not be true. So for example, if n is equal to 19, therefore n plus 1 is equal to 20. So P of n will be equal to 9, because 1 times 9 is 9, whereas P of n plus 1 will be equal to 0. So in this case, P of n plus 1 is not greater than P of n, so this does not have to be true. And based on that, we don't even have to check the third statement because we've eliminated our 4 other answer choices. So A is the answer. Let's check it out anyway. P of 2n is equal to 2 times P of n. So I don't think this has to be true. So let's think. So because what if it has a 5 in the ones digit? Because then when you multiply by 2, you're going to get a 0 in it. In other words, so I'm trying to get values where one of my digits is a 0, because that seems to have weird behavior. So let's say n is equal to 25. So P of n is going to be 10. And so 2 times, so P of n will be 10. So 2 times P of n will be 2 times 10, which is equal to 20. And then so here though, P of 2n will be P of 50. And so P of 50 is going to be 5 times 0, which will be 0. And so 0 is not equal to 20. So this does not have to be true either. But we didn't, that's probably the hardest of our 3 statements. And we didn't really even have to look at it. A is the answer.